Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, how you been? Good?
Man, everything's been going pretty good, man, on my side. It's snowing outside.
No
Trying
one
to get
out.
ready for that. Snowing outside, man.
What does that mean? COVID.
Snowing?
Snowing.
Oh, no, no.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's snowing, dude. It's snowing.
Oh,
Yeah,
is it? No way. So you're
yeah.
just chilling now.
It's snowing. Yeah.
Nice, man. Nice. I've been watching your TikToks. Solid content.
I appreciate it,
I
man.
like
100%.
the message you're giving. I think that's why I wanted to do a podcast, because you're kind of on the same path, on the same track as me. So but like, you're a knowledgeable guy, so I wanna learn more. I wanna see what you're all about. But yeah, I don't know. Tell me a bit about yourself, just like overview.
Yeah. First of all, I want to go in and say thank you for getting me on this podcast, man. Very appreciative.
No problem. I'm glad to have you.
Yeah, big time. Also, also it's good to share like content with other people, with other like-minded people, because I've still been watching your TikTok from afar. You know what I mean? And I've been seeing what you're doing with the red pill and things like that. So yeah, man. I got some things written down. A little bit about me. I'm from Georgia. I'm from the USA. I lived here all my life. Personally, I got to masculinity a couple years back, and I think it was because I was very, very sick. So my immune system got really, really screwed up, like out of nowhere. So I lost my ROTC scholarship. Was very screwed up. Was about to commit suicide a couple years back, and I was very screwed up. But then I believe that God showed me the path. It says about Nofap, right? And so we can get into that. Like, I can tell you some stories and everything, but I mean, it's been a beautiful, beautiful journey, bro.
Of course. Tell me like what kind of got you to where you are now.
Well, so real quick, like back in 2018, I was very screwed up. I was very, very screwed up. I had brain damage, had this thing called multiple sclerosis, where you have scars in your brain, things like that. And the doctors, they were trying to, I was going to the doctors before going to my second year in college. And surprisingly enough, man, like they literally said, hey, everything's fine with you. Like, everything is perfectly fine. You're young, you're active, but everything is perfectly fine. Right before I was about to head to my second semester in college, they pulled me and my mom in. They said, listen, okay, you got brain damage. Like, you have full raw brain damage. They showed me the pictures and everything. And, my mom was crying, she was in the seat. I was like, Mom, don't start crying, So that fall of 2018, kind of what happened, brother, I was in a mix. I was like, doctors were telling me I have to take $4,000 worth of shots. This is the time when I just had turned 19 as well. So doctors were telling me that. And at the time I was like, nah, dude, like, wait, this is going too fast. I lost my ROTC scholarship. Things were kind of going downhill and everything like that. So I was wondering, I was like, dude, this cannot be happening. And at the time, like, I believed in God, but I really didn't believe in him. It's just, I grew up Christian. That's just how it was. But it was a time where I did pray to him. I said, show me a path. And this is where I found out about Nofap. Okay. I saw my first Nofap video, a guy named Seth Alexander. But this guy was just going at it. He said he was like a 90 days of Nofap and things like that. And when I looked at the video, I was like, wow, I was so intrigued. I was like, because I kept fapping to porn stars consistently. And all of a sudden, like, my body just kept getting numb. People started laughing at me. I was trying to go back to school. I couldn't announce my words. So the females over there, all these females were around me, and they would be laughing at me. They would be laughing at me because they thought that I was like I literally would be like, like that. Like, when And they said, "Hey, Elijah, answer this question." I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'd be so embarrassed." And that's the time when I got back on that's the time when I got on NoFap. And more of the story is, man, this goes for anybody watching on this. NoFap can change your life 110%. Words cannot describe. If I wasn't on NoFap, surprisingly enough, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, like let's say that if some things would have happened, God forbid, I was not able to be on NoFap, and let's say I didn't even start my journey. Okay, I'd be in a wheelchair right now. I'd be in a hospital bed, not like from neck down, not being able to move my body, right? And that's just how it was, because my mom's friend's daughter, she's 24 and I'm 22. She can't move her body, and she has the same element that I have, but she can't move her body at all, you know. So she's like all numb on the hospital bed. And so semen retention is not just you know, you do it, it's a lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's a very big lifestyle. So yeah.
Like a shift in consciousness, you know, you kind of when you do NoFap, it kind of puts you on a different level to everyone. You know, it takes you to this new, and you kind of look down on people and you're like, well, not necessarily down at them, but you know, you look at people and you're like yourself before you were on NoFap. It's completely, you've almost awakened, you've almost seen so much more than like, you know, so much, you have so much potential all of a sudden.
Exactly.
You know? It's incredible. And I 100% agree. Like I'm the same, you know, you say, how extreme it is, like NoFap helping you, but I myself, the things I've done, the amount I've grown, I attribute at its core was NoFap. That's where it was the turning point for me. That's what made me just change my entire life, you know, and then go on this new path to you know, to fulfill my potential, basically. So yeah, I completely I get that. So what are you doing now then? What's kind of where are you at? Like, what's your mission now? Like, what's your message and what's your goal?
So man, my goal right now is just to help, you know, as many men as possible, help as many men as possible to get on NoFap. You know what I'm saying? And to make, for me, to make biblical masculinity like the cool thing, stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%.
My personal take, I believe that every man should be in that masculine frame. But there's so many, I mean, it's not in because you're in UK or no? You're in the UK.
UK, yeah.
Okay, it's not in America. All these men are dresses. All these men are they're putting the actors, Zac Efron, Lil Nas X, in a dress. What is this grown man doing in a dress? This brother is in a full dress. What is this brother doing in a dress? And so it's like, you look at that and it's like, it's the reason why, because society does not want masculine men. You know?
100%. So I guess that leads me to the first question of the podcast, and I'd say is like, why is NoFap so important?
Okay, so NoFap is so important. The reason why we want to get people on NoFap, man, is because this is probably one of the biggest tools that'll get you success in life. So if we think about everything, and this can even go with like the Bible and even the universal laws. So the Bible says the kingdom of God is within, right? And if you also look at the word universe, right, it's universe, and not no external. It's all universe, right? So when we think of that, you know, and we're looking, everything's all internal. They're trying to blame the news, trying to blame all this stuff. Have you ever looked within inside of yourself? Like, when was the last time that a person can say that? Because we can talk about NBA, we can talk about basketball, all these things about LeBron James, but if you don't know the own stats in your life, you know, it's not going to really mean anything. So the reason why we get people on NoFap is because you're going to receive something that a lot of men are not going to do. More confidence, more energy, self-aware, just, you know, things like that. You know what I mean? And a lot more benefits, even just going on your NoFap journey, even a lot more benefits with that. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, it's like you said though, it's a lifestyle switch. I think a lot of people try and do NoFap and they're like, I'm 7 days, 8 days, but you know what you said, like the guy you were watching at the time who got you into it, he's doing 90 days, you know, smashing it. So 90 days to me, I could do that, no problem. You know, it's not hard. So some guys, 2-3 days is impossible. So
Exactly.
if you're going to succeed on NoFap, you have to fully, like, you can't be on the fence about it. You're either doing it or you're not doing it. And when you commit to it fully, it takes you into, you just go somewhere, you know, everything changes, you know, for the better.
Exactly.
And there's just so many benefits to it. You're more motivated, you have more energy, you're stronger, you're healthier, you're more intelligent. You have that vibe to you, have that energy, you have that just extra bit of drive to go and do something with your life. Because once you've once you've stopped being addicted to pleasure, you're like, well, what do I do to fill my time up? What do I do now? And then you have to start looking within yourself, as you said, like within, and go, okay, what can I do to, you know, make the world better? Or what can I do that like fulfills me on the inside, you know? And that's why you get the guys like us who do NoFap. And then we end up kind of becoming the leaders of the pack kind of thing, you know, trying to share this information with people because we just have so much more vitality than everyone else. Everyone else is just asleep, you know, and they're being confused by this, like you said, the people in the dresses, like the celebrities in dresses. That's the people at the top pulling the strings, confusing you because you look up to you idolize these celebrities, and they're trying to make you idolize the opposite of your gender. They're trying to reverse the roles. So yeah, it's basically the work of the devil. I mean, if you want to say that, you know, I'm sure you would agree.
100%, bro, big time.
Cool. And I see that like you preach NoFap. You know, it's like, yeah. What about you? How long have you been doing NoFap now?
So it's been about 3 years.
3 years,
It's
yeah.
been about.
I'm the same. I think I'm about the same. So,
Really?
but like to me that means, to me it's how many days you done. I'm like, well, I don't really think about it, you know. It's like that's like saying how many days have you brushed your teeth in the morning? It's like I don't know, man. It's just what you do in the morning, you know.
Exactly, because I remember you had a live with there was another female who does NoFap, or she teaches NoFap. I forgot her name, but she's like a
addiction recovery girl or something. I've seen her. Yeah, she's nice. Yeah,
she's pretty cool. So like just seeing that you said like when you're doing NoFap, you just don't think about how many days this you almost forgot that you was in that. You know what I mean? The word it's like a different world. It's like two different worlds, man. Jack and being on this side, it's two different worlds.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like there's this guy, you can't make this stuff up. This guy, he's like 18, 19 years old. He says that, you know, that he had to, he wanted to get off the call with me because he wanted to go and relapse and actually masturbate. I was like, dude. And this guy, and this is coming from he said, well, he claims to be a straight male. And then he's asking me some questions that are very feminine. So I got a little scared. I was like, dude, wait, what's going on, dude? I never been to this before, brother. It's a totally different world now, bro. But when I got to the position, it was like, then I realized, wait, that's what pornography and masturbation does. It causes a man to be
almost hijacks. It's like a demon's hijacked the mind and is controlling them, you know?
Exactly. 100%. That's exactly what it is, bro.
And not only that, like, I mean, I don't know from my own personal experience, but I just know because, you know, I was never in a relationship whilst watching porn or anything, but I just know also how much porn and masturbation destroys people's relationships. Because if you're having to look at very like, you know, things, if you're looking at a woman, right? So say you're married, if you're looking at another woman and doing a sexual act, just because it's on a screen doesn't mean you're not cheating, you know, just because it's on a screen doesn't mean you're not, you know what I mean? It's like walking in the street and looking at a woman and then getting off on it. Would you think your wife would appreciate that? It's the exact same thing on a screen. It makes no difference. So that's one other reason. Like you can't, you know, if you want to have a good, healthy relationship, you're going to have to do NoFap basically.
Got to, man.
Yeah. And it'll make your relationships better too. That's the thing. Because not only that, if you're in a relationship, because nowadays, like the women's power is sex, right? That's what they hold. That's what men want, and that's what they have, right? But if you can do NoFap, you no longer have the need for that sex. So a woman, her only power, she dangles in front of you. Well, it doesn't matter now, no more, you know? So you essentially have all the power. So that's why NoFap is another reason why it's so important, you know? And it just brings out the best version of yourself, really, at the end of the day.
then that's exactly what it is, man. It does. It really does bring out the best version of yourself. And it's so many marriages, man. Like so many marriages are failing, bro. So many marriages are failing because they're not on NoFap. You know what I'm saying? They're not on NoFap, and that's just how it's a sad thing. But even watching, I mean, honestly, brother, we can say that, people that follow, or we can say that people who apparently watch straight pornography say, yeah, I'm a straight male. But what that's doing to your mind, you're still watching a male butt naked.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what's happening. So subconscious, you're still focusing on the woman. You're thinking that every single day, the more that you start watching pornography, that's going to cause a man to be caved in, not being a real raw man.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like you're a spectator. You're training your mind to not be the one doing it. You're training your mind to be the one watching it. And what's that telling your subconscious mind is that you're not good enough for this. Some other guy's doing it for you. So that's important. That's awful. You need to be thinking, the only time I should be doing this for real. If I'm gonna do anything like that, it should be me doing it for real. Not that I agree with just like casual sex stuff, because I don't. But say you do end up getting a wife or whatever, that's the only person you should be thinking about having sex with. But yeah, all right. Well, then that leads on to the next question, which is, what are the major downfalls of men today in the modern world, and why? What is making us?
I would say the major downfall is definitely a sin of pornography, man. Definitely a sin of pornography. Because, and also the lustful music. I don't know how it is where you're at, but there's a lot of lustful music in today's world, and everything is just what you put in your mind and how you operate. You know what I mean? Like, if a man keeps putting in, I love the female, I love this. Okay, but well, if this brother has a goal of like, dude, doing this with his life, okay, and let's say that he wants to go there, what is this brother doing listening to love songs? What is this guy doing listening to all this garbage? And I'm talking about like having sex with multiple women, all these different things. I mean, you're training the mind, brother. You're just training the mind to not focus on your purpose, but focus on smashing these women. That's why, like, in America, you get a lot of people wearing like $200 belts to go out to the club, bars, whatever the case may be, just to smash all these women. But it just leaves a 5-minute nut. That's all it does.
Yeah, you know what I mean? To be honest, it's funny because the guys that do go to the club wearing all these expensive clothes, they're usually the ones who go home on their own anyway. So they wasted their money because they don't have any game whatsoever. They don't know how to walk up to a girl. Because society's told them that if they wear these, like, oh, look at this gangster who's wearing all these clothes and he gets girls. So if I buy the clothes, do I get the girls? Like, that's their logic. But that's just not how it works, And it's vice versa. Like, the women on top of that listen to the music, and it makes them, become more promiscuous in that sense,
Yeah, big time.
So it's both sides of the coin are, essentially. What are there any other things would you say other than porn and like the music industry, which I would 100% agree on both of them?
Yeah, 100%. I'm trying to think.
But to add to the music though, like the music as well, it is always about, the women are always put on a pedestal. The women's always like, all these things. They make women sound. They make it like they try to convince you. Like, for example, let's take Drake, right? So there's a line in the song, I don't know, I think it's Controller, or one of these songs, and he says something like, he texts his girl, reply me. Once he sent a text, he texts reply me, right? So people are thinking, oh, so if I send a text to a girl and she doesn't reply, I'm going to send reply to me because that's what Drake does and he's cool. Well, let me tell you one thing. If there's one thing that's unattractive, it's double texting. It's double texting because someone didn't reply to you. So the people listen to these songs and it makes them act in a way that's like low value because they think that's what celebrities are doing. Do you see what I mean?
100%. Yeah, 100%. Wow, that's powerful, man.
And yeah, a lot of this modern day music, it just very much promotes emotional behavior in men. It gets us into our emotions too much. It makes us think we're all lovey-dovey, and and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I think it's like you have to have that under control kind of thing. You have to. It shouldn't be this like overly emotional thing. Like, yes, we have emotion, but it shouldn't be what's guiding us. It shouldn't be that's not what's masculine. What's masculine is being able to see past your emotions and make rational, logical decisions based on them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
100%.
Sorry, go back to other things. Like, what else do you think is affecting like the downfall of men today?
I mean, honestly, dude, if I can be honest, dude, I'm really just thinking, because think about what you said about Drake and control it, because it's very powerful. It's very, very powerful.
But it's very subtle. It's very subtle, but you don't to the average Joe, they're not thinking like that. They're not thinking, when you're red pill, when you're aware, you can listen to this music and it no longer has an effect on you. But when you don't know anything about the red pill, this music is what's influencing you and making you, you're basing your kind of life off it. I've been there myself. I've been there where I'm like way into all the rap music and everything. I've had my time with that, but you realize it's kind of it's a lie, it's a trick, and you guess you know it. Yeah, I'd also say like two other things. Like, one would be, well, just from my own point, like the castration, like chemical castration, like the water and the food and stuff, how it like destroys our hormones and makes us more feminine. And then also, this is probably one you probably know better than me, because I'm new to this, but like the lack of just like values and morals and like religion and things like that.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, bro. Like, like if you look at the 40s and stuff, man, if you look at the 30s and 40s, it's not how it is right now. And that's just it's not how it is right now, bro. Like, you had the dresses were down here, the men were wearing suits, all these different things. And that's how it was. And now you got Cardi B. You got people like Cardi B, out of nowhere. You know what I mean? People like Cardi B going out on YouTube with little kids to see, 5-year-old kids to see. And how old are you, brother, by the way?
21.
21. Okay, got it. So we grew up in a generation, brother, where it's like, I think we were one of the last generations. And again, I don't know how it is over there, but in the US, like, I would say that we were like the last generation to really like actually kind of live and not see that gay, that true raw, like a man dress type of stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I believe. But I think also too, man, like social media is definitely a big one though too. It's all about balance, man. That's all it is. Like if a person keeps consuming that, bro, like when I say that we're the last generation, brother, dude, you get these kids, a 5-year-old kid rather wanting to play Fortnite than going outside. Not even wanting to go outside. You know what I mean? And that's not healthy. And that's just how it is. Every man got to have a balance. They have to have a balance in life. So
100%. What about like religion? What would you say? Because I know that like the Bible kind of, in a way, has like, the Bible is like the best red pill book going, isn't it? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
And that's interesting, because for me, for me, I'm only catching on to this now. Like, I'm not there yet. I don't have a religion or anything, but the more I look into this, the more times I see people bringing out Bible verses and stuff. And it just seems like that's how God wants us to be, wants us to be masculine, in our masculine essence, in our masculine frame. That's what makes everything work well between men and women. When women are acting masculine and men are acting feminine, it's like putting batteries in a TV remote the wrong way around. It's just not going to work,
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Like, there's a lot of Bible verses, man, like discussing like relationship and stuff. Like the woman, like the man's supposed to be the head of the household, right? So guess what? You can even look in the red pill philosophies as what do you have to be? The provider, protector. Okay. Well, the Bible says you have to be the head of the household, right? So, and that's just how it is. God wants us to be strong. And the thing about it is, one thing I can tell you is this, bro. Like, in terms of, since we're going to talk about like the Bible and Christianity and stuff, like what I think what turns a lot of people off is like people painting like Jesus as just nice. You see Jesus in like the Western society, it's like he always has a big smile on his face and just all lovey-dovey instead of this masculine guy and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it causes him a look, should I really, as a man, humbling myself? But that's where you got to dive deep into the good book and you see these Bible verses. You know what I'm saying? Like with one Bible, was in 1 Corinthians 6:30, stand firm, act like men, to be strong, let all that you do be done in love. Right. So we got to like standing firm. Okay, that's what the Bible says. So God's telling us to be masculine. We just got to use that power, and that's just how it is, so, and that's just point blank simple, so.
And you kind of, it makes so much sense, because all you have to do to prove that point is look at, I mean, let's just be honest, like the world is degenerate, the world is evil, the world is run by Satan. And what does Satan want? He wants the opposite of what God wants. He wants the absolute opposite. He wants us to be not in our, not being playing our role. So it's you're right. Yeah, that's why I respect the Bible and the religion, even though I'm not necessarily learning it right now, but like I'm starting to realize now that yes, that this is like the truth, and I'm all about the truth. That's what I'm about, the truth. I don't care if it benefits me. I don't care if it goes against me. Whatever the truth is, that's all I want to know, and that's what I will stick by.
100%, man. Well, dude, I mean, honestly, man, maybe at the end of the call, definitely want to do some things for you, at the end of the call, man, too.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah.
So then leading on to the next question then, so why is being masculine so crucial in a relationship?
Man, so that just goes with everything. So like, okay, so the Bible says, is that I've given you authority over all snakes and scorpions, and nothing shall harm you. So without a man being the head of the household, and without a masculine male, there's really not going to be a foundation. You know what I'm saying? We got to like stand firm, right? So whatever truth or whatever that you stand by, like a person has to live by that. And if the man is not living by a certain standard, then the whole household is going to be kind of messed up. So I went to a fellowship yesterday, met some other brothers and sisters in Christ. This guy had a little son, and he was talking about how he, if he was not living by a standard, then that little 8-year-old kid is going to get affected. Whether he's living bad or good, the 8-year-old kid is going to grow up and believe that this is the truth, right? If a person grows up in a multi-million-dollar household, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. So my family was never rich. We were actually lower middle class. Okay, but the thing about it is, I lived in a school area where you were either like, when I say I'm serious, like there's no in between. You were either higher class, you were very rich, or you were lower middle class. There was no poor, there was no middle class. I was always the lower middle class. So I'd be living by these mansions while we'd be living in the apartments and stuff. So I used to like go outside and like just kind of look at the mansions. My friends would invite me over. And when they invited me over, at the time it was like 2010, I'd be the only person, without the Nintendo DS. Everybody else had the Nintendo DS. So when we're going through those neighborhoods, I'm the only one with my mouth wide open like that, just looking at the big houses, like, oh, you know what I mean? And that's exactly how it was. So their standard with living this big life, they're used to that. That was their standard. My standard was being always the guy looking from the outside in. And that was my standard in life. And that's what I'm used, and that's what I was back in the day. So whatever standard that a man should be on, it should at least be a standard that's going to benefit that person further down the line. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And my standard, is definitely biblical. My standard is definitely, on the Bible, the truth of the Lord. Okay. And also my standard is also being a man of my word as well. And that's what my future household is going to live by. And that's just how it is. So yeah.
100%. Yeah. I say your the father figure is kind of, and look at any chaotic household, any house that is or a family that's in chaos and just look at the father. If the father is a strong masculine man, and I know this because I know this from my own experience. My girlfriend, her father, he's a strong guy. He's a proper man. He's just a man. That's why I'm with her, because she's got a good father. That's one of the reasons why. Sorry.
No, I was saying wow.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Saying,
I thought you said yeah. And their family, everything's sorted. Everyone, all the kids are doing well. They're all going getting education. You know, everything is sweet. Everything is good, right? But having said that, I've seen other households where the father is not quite doing that. He's not quite he's not quite being in his masculine frame, and it's just absolute chaos. It's almost like the females and the children now take over the family, and it's just pure chaos. So what you're saying is, yeah, it's true. That father figure is like, or the masculine is like the leader of the home, basically. Whether people like it or not, it's just the truth. And when you grow up, like your father is kind of you base yourself off him. Like, he gives you inspiration. You want to be able to look up to him and be like, I want to be like my dad.
100%.
And it's so crucial. And that will be the same for your children. Your children are going to look at you, and because you say you hold yourself to that high standard, your child is going to look at you and go, well, that's the norm. You're going to go, that's what my dad's like, that's the norm. And they're going to hold themselves to a high standard because you do, So yeah, it's powerful stuff.
100%, man. Big time.
But yeah, like I'd add, like, being masculine, like why it's so crucial in a relationship too, is like, if you can be in your masculine, she'll be in her feminine. Because like the reality of it is it depends. Like you can't have two people both in masculine. Like someone will always have to submit to the other person. So if you're in your feminine, she's going to be in her masculine. If you're in your masculine, she will be in her feminine. And I promise you, get her in her feminine, your relationship will be amazing. You'll have a great time. But if it's the other way around, she's going to hate you. She doesn't want to be in her masculine. She doesn't want to be like, a woman doesn't want to, she will if she has to. She's capable, just the same way as a man is capable of being feminine, a woman is capable of being masculine, but neither of us thrive in that state. Do you see what I mean? So if you can get in your masculine, it's going to put her in her feminine, and that's it. And that's the goal. But is that easy? Is it easy to be masculine? What do you think? Is it easy to be masculine, man? If you're honest,
okay, so
if you're honest.
Man, that's what I believe, man. Like, there's cheat codes in life. There's just codes in life. NoFap is one of the biggest tools of the cheat codes of being like a masculine male foundation. Because everything starts off with the view, brother. Like, everything starts off with a vision. Like, if your vision, shout out to my stepfather. He said that what you do off the field is what you do on the field. So like, off the field, if a man, like, let's say that you're in the house watching pornography, okay, how can you look at a woman in the eyes, make direct eye contact, and say, and not be like, hey, can I please get your number, and then hit her up like an hour later, or you're gonna say, you know what, here's my number, you text me, boom, 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 boom. You're not gonna be able to do that if you're watching pornography. And that's just how it is. So it all starts off with a vision. I feel like it's easy to be masculine. You just gotta have the right type of steps. And the last saying, be able to stand, like, I'm pretty sure you know this, brother, but the woman is doing the S test, the poop test, the
Shit test, yeah. The poop test.
doing those tests. So like, and it's so crazy. And when I say this, brother Ben, you can't make this stuff up. He says, well, like, hey man, well, why do you follow this person, but he's not like a Christian person doing that? Because again, the Bible says faith without work is dead. There's still certain things that a man has to do, aside from everything, and not like, I remember my last relationship, we're both Christian, but everything that this red pill teacher was saying in terms of like, of course, we're not talking about like the sex before marriage, but in terms of like, females will actually S test you. They'll do that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I really got S tests. Like, and I used to wonder, I was like, why is this happening to me, bro? Why is she
good thing? It's a good thing though. It means she likes you.
Yeah. Big time. But
you don't test someone that isn't worthy of being tested. Because if she's not testing, she's testing you to she's thinking, all right, this he looks strong. He's given me all the signs that he's strong, but let's see if he's real. Let's see what he's really made of. And when you pass that test, even to the average man, to the weak man, he thinks, "What the hell? Why is this girl attacking me? Why is she saying this?" But because you're so, like you say, because you're firm and you're strong as a masculine man, she throws things at you, it bounces straight off you because you're solid within yourself, and that is attractive to a woman.
Exactly, 100%. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
That's exactly.
So I don't know. I guess the next question is, what does it mean to be a man? I guess we kind of have kind of covered that as we've talked, but let's go in deeper.
Yeah. Okay. So I think what it means to be a man is just standing firm, man, for what you believe. Again, I'm all about biblical truth. So he said, stand firm, act like men, be strong, although you do be done love, right? So, we're just called to stand firm, in the faith, stand firm with what we want in life. So like, let's say that like being a man of your word, just being a man of your word inside of his life. That's all you got inside of this lifetime is your word, so it doesn't matter what anybody says. Let's say that, hey, Ben, let's meet up at 2. We met up at 2. You know what I mean? All you got is your word. You know what I mean? That's just how life is. So standing up for your word, and also, just standing up. Like when you say you're going to do something, do it. Because everybody can talk about being the best version. You know, in the self-development community, everybody says, yeah, man, 2022 is my year. I'm going to be the best version. Brother's still in the same exact position since 07. Same exact position. It's been
13 years. Damn, that's a long time. I don't know who you're thinking of. You've got someone in your mind, like.
Oh, dude, yeah. I'm not gonna.
Let him go, man. He's a lost cause. You can't save everyone.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, man. But yeah, so that's what I believe it means. 100%. I still got a lot of work to do. I'm not gonna act like I don't got my life.
Me too.
Yeah.
I will hold my hands up and say I'm no way perfect, but I'm trying. And I will say it's hard to be a real man. It's hard, but let me tell you something. Nothing good comes easy, and the real men of today's society, there's very, very few of them. So to be in that top tier, you have to work. You have to put in the work. You have to go through the trials and tribulations and the challenges, and you got to be willing to like punish yourself and put yourself out of your comfort zone. It's like training. I think the gym training is like, it's like training to be a man, basically, because you're always fighting against something. You're creating resistance.
Listen, bro, I don't know.
And I know you train, so
yeah.
You got a sick physique.
Huh?
You got a really good physique. I've seen it.
Oh yeah, appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it.
No worries.
So, but it's so crazy how you say that, man. Like training. When I hear training, it makes it doesn't make me horny. It makes my stomach feel some horn, like my horny. You know what I'm saying?
That fire inside of you.
Yeah, that fire. You know what I mean? It makes you just feel good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So and that's what every man needs. If you're not in training, when I think of training, I think of the warrior Spartans, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're training so hard, and they're laughing during war. They're like, this is such a breeze. You know what I mean? This is such a breeze to me. That's exactly what every man needs. Go through hard training, tough training, you know what I'm saying? Mentally,
train hard, fight easy.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Boom.
There you go. Yeah, I agree. And it's funny because if you even look at training, like when you do weight training or resistance training, your testosterone increases, and everyone knows testosterone is the man hormone. So there's clearly a correlation there. And to be a man, is your gift as a man is your strength, your physical strength. That's what we have over women. Women can bear children. Men are physically strong. You can't dispute that. You can be all gender neutral, whatever, but you can't dispute that's a fact. And that's your gift, and but you have a potential within that gift, because anyone has a body, but you have to actually put something on it. You have to put the stress on the body for it to adapt and to grow. And it's the same as a man. Like a woman is just by nature, just by her being a woman, she's automatically attractive. But a man, she just, doesn't eat too much, kind of goes for a jog every now and then, drinks water, she's fine. Man, to build the body we want, it takes years. It takes diet, it takes supplements, it takes hundreds of programming and hours and in the gym. It takes so much work. But that's because
Oh,
we're made. The man is made. We have to actually, it's not just given to us. You have to earn that right to be a man.
really, man. And I saw the quote where you said that, like, to go back when you said, I was like, alpha are born with, men are created. I mean, you can't hide from this stuff, man. And I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this one thing though too. I don't know if God wants me to talk about that. I really don't. But I'm gonna tell you this one thing is that a lot of people, what I've noticed, man, is that they tend to hope. They tend to hope for the best version of yourself and stuff like that. And even with their nofap journey, I talked to a lot of people, man. They just want to. Why am I not going 100 days? Why am I like, brother? This is a grind. This
Hope
is
is
a
for the
grind
weak.
until the hope is for the weak, bro. That's exactly what it is. Hope is for the weak. If you're hoping and you're not doing anything about it, you can't go that.
What do you expect? I mean, for me, nofap was it was not do or die, but that's how I approached it. Was like, if I don't do this, I am fucked. I'm not gonna go anywhere in life. I was like, I have to do this, and it wasn't like, okay, I'll do it in 3 days, 3 more days. No, it was like that day. I was like, cool, we're going. This is nofap. Let's go. And I was straight in. I was not playing around, and it paid off. And I'm sure you were. I'm assuming you were somewhat similar to that.
Yeah, it was somewhat similar. So for me, it was actually, I used God's help though too. God definitely helped me out during this journey. And I'm not gonna act like, like a lot of people, like they tend to pray, and prayer does work. But the thing about it is that God will meet you halfway. You know what I'm saying? God will meet you halfway. This is where you got to put in the pie. So it's like it's almost like I give this analogy so many times on my TikToks, but like it's like God will like a lot of people are praying to the Lord, and yes, they're seeing that restoration. God's given them the blessing, but this is where you have to do the other side. I asked this other brother, what I'm saying? He's very active in his prayer, all of his stuff. But then I asked him, says, okay, so what time do you wake up? Says he wakes up at 10. Okay, do you currently work? He says, no. Do you currently do this? Do you currently work out? Do you have a workout routine? No. What do you expect? What do you expect is gonna happen, brother? You know what I mean? Like, what do you expect to happen? If you're not gonna put in work or be productive, well, okay, what's the saying? Like, the idle mind is the devil's workshop. So if you have an idle mind, you ain't gonna do nothing. If you're sitting like this the whole time and you're not doing nothing with your benefits, you say, you know what, I'm not gonna work out, bro. And you have no workout routine, brother. What do you expect is gonna happen? This is a grind that everybody has to do.
They want nofap to do the work for them, but it's not. Nofap is like the boosters on your car, but it don't do the work for you. You've still got to like get the thing moving,
Right. That's exactly right, bro. Yep.
And that's the thing.
Yep.
And that's the problem, because society's made people think they can just sit on their ass and, you don't have to go out and hunt or fight or anything. You just order a Uber Eats or takeaway or whatever, comes to your door. You play video games. You shoot people in the video games. You die. You respawn. Man, in real war, you go and fight. You die. You die. You know what I mean? It's not like our whole society has just told everyone you can just be a fat loser and you'll be fine. No worries. Whereas in reality, go chuck them into the forest and leave them with nothing, then one mistake and they're dead, so you have to switch on, otherwise you'll die. So it's a bit relevant, but I know what you're saying is the idle mind is the devil's workshop. Like, you have to be busy, you just fill your day up with stuff, and that's what then when you do nofap, that's what makes you then kind of, because you have to fill your thing up, you end up like me and you, where you're just like, well, why not help more people? Like, I've experienced so much great stuff. Why not share that? Why not want to help other guys get that? And that's like the most beautiful thing and the most fulfilling thing you can do, in my opinion.
100%.
I'm sure, because you mentor, don't you? Right?
Yeah, mentor. Yeah.
I'm sure your clients, like for you, it must be amazing. Like, just to help someone, just bring them out. I've done it with my clients. Like, I've changed their life.
Wow.
And it's crazy. It's crazy, and it shocked me. I'm like, whoa! I didn't realize. Who is this guy? Like, this is not the guy I originally talked to. Like, what the hell is going on?
It's so crazy that you say that. It's so crazy that you say that, Ben. Because dude, this guy named Mike. Okay, he's actually from the UK, but this guy was so sluggard. had girl problems. Remember last year, he called me back up and he says, because now he talked with a deep voice. Hey, how's it going, man? How are you? I had to look back at the screen. I said, am I talking to the right person, brother? I have no idea.
Crazy.
To find out either. And listen, I'm out 100 plus saves. Thank you so much. And this guy's talking better than me. Like when I make eye contact with him, dude, whoa. When I'm listening to him, he's talking about how NoFap is affecting, and I'm sitting there literally listening, like I'm already on 3 years, but like sitting there listening. Maybe I should get on this NoFap journey, the way he's speaking.
Yeah.
I even told her, like, dude, maybe I should get on this NoFap. I don't know, you know what I mean? But it's like, because and it's so, it's just
the aura.
It's crazy, aura, But yeah,
100%. But it's not. Sadly, not everyone has that kind of breakthrough, So because I've coached people, and unfortunately, I tried my best, and they were getting there. They were just getting there, and then it didn't quite pay off, And it's sad because I just think, oh man, you had so much potential and you let it go. But you can guide a horse to water, you can't make it drink. You do everything you can. That's all you can really do. So I'll go on to the final question then. So how can a man increase his masculine energy? I think we kind of did touch on that, like with the training and stuff, but what are some ways that you can increase your masculine energy?
So I would say, how can a man increase their masculine energy? Man, I would say this one thing, and this is where God comes in at 100%. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like I did it all on my own. Definitely prayer definitely helped out a lot. I got deliverance as well, and some certain things that that was a part of me that work can have done. I mean, that's just how it was. So definitely having God in your life, God will make you masculine like at 110%. It's a beautiful thing, right? Number two, you gotta be a NoFap. And I'll say there's 4 reasons. Number two, you gotta be a NoFap. Number 3, you gotta have a purpose. Okay. If you're not having a purpose, you're not transmitting your energy into anything.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do anything. You have a purpose. You know what I mean? And the last thing, honestly, I think those are the top 3 things, man. Honestly, just having a purpose. And actually, number 4, being disciplined. I remember I'm gonna tell you this one story, Ben. A couple months back, I never because when you're on your NoFap journey, like especially when you go this long, it's like you really don't think about your mind struggling, battling the thoughts of like wanting to go back and relapse, go back to that other part. But when I say the power of discipline, like you can't make this stuff up. I decided to take a couple of days off of of my personal program, and that's what I follow on a day-to-day basis. I said, let me just take a couple of days off. I'll watch some Jackie Chan, things like that. And so I went to the couch, and it's so crazy when I say that comfort will get you, man. Like I ordered some Domino's pizza, sitting back on the couch that I've never done before. And then all of a sudden, boom, those thoughts came of like almost back from 2018 of me wanting to relapse again. Like I have thoughts in a couple of years. It's been so long. And so then I realized, well, wow, the power of discipline. A man must have discipline on a continuous basis. So
100%. And like when and I know exactly, it's like those old neural pathways that once upon a time used to be what kind of controlled you. Because you're doing those things that would tap into that, you then kind of fall back into these old habits, and you want to get to a point where like those pathways in your brain are just so old and never been used that they're like, oh, what's this garbage? Let's get rid of this. Like this hasn't been used in 3-4 years. Like what the hell? And then at that point, you're so good at it. You're so good at being a man, basically, that you're just so disciplined all the time. That's the thing in the gym. Like, a lot of guys in the gym will come up to me and be like, oh, excuse me, I really like your physique. Can you like give me some tips? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, they'll be like, oh, I'm just not, I'm motivated. Sometimes I'm not, but I'm like, forget motivation. I'm like, motivation comes and goes. If you've got it, great. If you don't, it doesn't matter. What you need is discipline. You need to just say I'm coming 4 or 5 times a week, and just be there. Whether your girlfriend broke up with you, whether your dog died, whether you just won the lottery, it doesn't matter. You just show up and you just give it your best. Some days are going to be good. Some days are going to be okay. Some days are going to be amazing. Doesn't matter. As long as you're here, give it 3-4 years. Next thing you know, you're jacked out your mind. Like, it's simple, but it's the actual doing it that's the hard part.
That's right. That's all it's about. Yeah.
And I'm sure you're someone I look at your content and you've got to be disciplined. Like you're you're constantly making stuff, but I'm sure you would say, like, because you're like kind of because you could just sit on TikTok all day and watch stuff, right? Be the consumer. But because you're creating it, do you find that, because I find that when I'm creating stuff, it kind of puts me onto this like high, it kind of takes you to the next level in your mind kind of thing,
Like, and like in terms of like what, like what do you mean?
Just your like kind of your energy, like Nofap, where you just feel good, you just feel more alive, you just feel more confident. It's the same thing with your kind of purpose. Like when you're on your purpose and when you're like building and creating stuff, it just makes you feel good. Just I don't know, I can't quite explain it, but that's how I feel personally.
Yeah, it definitely does, man. Like I know for sure I have my personal struggles. Like I'm very hard-headed in terms of like just being like listening to other people, like listening to mentors and things like that. But like in terms of like creating, it's definitely something, it's definitely a beautiful thing, man. Like just being able to put something out and then it's gonna affect everybody as well. It's very,
for sure.
and then also you're gonna reap the benefits of what you're gonna put out. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna reap the benefits, whether it be the right type of clients, whether it be the right type of people, other people like getting the best testimonies like that. It's a very beautiful thing.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, I mean, that's all the topics I had. But is there anything else you want to add before we end the podcast?
Dude, honestly, yeah. So real quick for everybody, dude.
Yeah.
I would say stay disciplined, man. Stay disciplined on your path, and don't be afraid if you're going through anything in life. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, prayer definitely comes in as well, and keep up the good work. If anybody's on the righteous path, just know that you guys have something big on yourself. Whether it be a financial game plan, whether it be you being the best version, or you're attracting the high quality woman. Just keep going on your path, man, and you guys will be straight.
I'd agree. Like I'd say, being like living righteously, or I mean, like I said, I'm not religious, but I still appreciate these concepts. Is when you're doing everything out of like the pureness of your heart and just for the best, like not self gratification, just doing it purely out of love. Yeah. It's almost as if the universe clears the path for you and makes everything just work, because it's like, do you know what I mean? When you start trying to force things or be sneaky or steal, or things just blow up in your face, because nothing's watching over you anymore, because it's not interested, if that makes sense.
Wow.
I know it's quite deep, but that's what I've felt, is when I live just with the pureness of my heart, I just find that I can do, not that I can do no wrong, but nothing bad seems to happen. Everything just seems to come my way. It just don't know. It all just falls into place,
100%, brother. 100%.
Yeah, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I definitely see what you're talking about.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Anything else, or was that it?
Yeah, that's gonna be it, brother.
Awesome. I mean, yeah, it was really good, man. I enjoyed talking.
Dude, I enjoyed talking too, man. It was very good. I definitely I enjoyed talking, man. Enjoyed this conversation.
We'll definitely do another one in the future, but it's just good to talk about these topics and share like our wisdom with the youth because it's our job to save these guys, to like the young generation, because like they said, they're being poisoned with this stuff. We got to give them a opportunity to maybe it's not for them,
Yeah, 100%. I think that would be the best thing to do.
100%. Cool.
Good, man.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, it's been a pleasure. I'm going to end the recording, but I'll stay on for a bit.
Cool.
Sweet. Thank you everyone for watching.